There we go. Well, thank you guys for having me. This is going to be super informal. I don't have notes or anything, so if I start to ramble or you start to yawn or anything like that, I'll try to wrap it up. As Ron let you know, so my career as a health and weight loss coach started through my own journey and experience with living with morbid obesity. So I did start my career at Weight Watchers. I'll get to that in a little bit. Now I'm kind of out on my own. 3.5 years ago, I found myself at over 300 pounds. And I just want to tell you a little bit about how I got there. I struggled with weight my entire life. When I was a child, I would say probably 8 or 10 years old, I was diagnosed with hypothyroidism. My really screwed up my metabolism and it gained a lot of weight all at once. Had kind of the typical childhood experience. When you gain weight as a child, other children really enjoy pointing that out to you. So that was not a very fun experience, and definitely set the stage for me to have, insecurities surrounding my weight. I went through the next 25 years of my life kind of jumping from diet to diet, trying to get a grip on what was going on with my body. I joined Weight Watchers with my mother for the first time when I was 14 years old. At that time, I think I weighed less than I do now, but as a child, it felt like a lot. And that began sort of a diet mentality cycle where I would try a program, lose weight for a little while, get frustrated, it would maybe be slow, I would quit, and then try the next, like a fad diet. So if you can think of a diet, I have been on it. I have tried them all. Slim Fast, Jenny Craig, Weight Watchers, Nutrisystem, the cabbage soup, things where I ate only chicken and tuna, and I don't even know. Anything that I read about that looked like it had quick results, I tried it. And it was just an endless kind of cycle of diet, lose a little weight, get frustrated, quit, gain it all back plus more. And every time the plus more got higher and higher and higher, up to, as I said, over 300 pounds. I'd like to tell you a little bit about what life was like as a woman at over 300 pounds. And I'm going to try really hard to not get emotional, but I cannot guarantee that won't happen. I remember distinctly, multiple times, getting on an airplane, and as I started to walk down the aisle, which I barely fit down, watching the expressions on people's faces as they saw me coming, and this look of dread. Dear God, don't let her have the seat next to me, right? Another memory that happened more times than I can count was watching a man hold a door open for a beautiful woman in front of me. And she would walk through and thank him. And as I got closer, he would let go and that door would close right in my face. That happened more times than I can count. So let me tell you some happy stuff. As I mentioned, 3.5 years ago, I went to my doctor and I said, all right, I'm done. This is it. I cannot live my life like this anymore. I'm miserable. My entire body hurts. My bones hurt, my feet hurt, my back hurts, my pride hurts. I was wearing a size 28. I couldn't even buy clothes in stores. I had to shop online and it was hit or miss. I couldn't buy anything I liked. I just had to buy whatever would fit on my body, right? And everything was Jersey Knit. Thank God for Jersey Knit. So I spoke with my doctor and I asked her for the miracle fix. I said, I need you to write me a note for gastric bypass. I know you got a magic pill in there somewhere, doc. Hook me up. I need it. Maybe a liquid diet, something, right? I heard Kaiser had a good liquid fast probe. Hook me up with that. Give me, something in a packet, something really quick. And she said, have you tried Weight Watchers? My heart sank because I had tried Weight Watchers probably 20 times. And I thought, no, that's not the quick fix. That's the slow one. I know what you're doing right now and you're trying to teach me balance. I don't want balance. I want a quick fix. And she said, I'm not gonna recommend you for gastric bypass. You're young, you're healthy, I want you to go back to Weight Watchers. So reluctantly, with my head hung low, I went back to Weight Watchers and I got on that scale, was over 300 pounds. But that began, it was really my rock bottom moment, seeing the 3 in front of my weight. But that began a journey for me of slow, steady, consistent, healthy changes over time. It was not fast, it was not quick or easy, but it was simple. It was a series of just making one right choice after the next, good, healthy choices, making exchanges for just a little bit healthier than what I might have had before. It took me 2 years and 7 months, but as of today, I've lost 140 pounds. So about thank you, thanks. Almost half of my body weight, which is pretty exciting. One of the things that I would really like to share with you is some of the experiences that I had in the medical field, and what I feel like would be beneficial for you to know going into the medical arena of what your patients and people that you're working with, what they might need from you when you're encountering people dealing with obesity and morbid obesity. There is so much shame involved in obesity, because we all have our issues, we all have things that we struggle with, we all have our vices and something that maybe has more control over us than we have over it. But with obesity, you're wearing it for the whole world to see. There could be someone walking around that is, addicted to gambling, has a shopping problem and is, spending all their money. Maybe they're cheating on their partner. There are a million things that people can be dealing with, but it's your secret. You get to carry that within you and nobody knows. But when you're dealing with obesity, everybody knows, right? So there's a lot of shame involved. And the reason I shared with you guys those experiences of recognizing, I guess what we could call maybe mistreatment, or I think people don't even realize that they're doing it, but those facial expressions that we pick up on because we feel it and we know. The world is a harsh place for someone dealing with morbid obesity. I think a morbidly obese man is regularly emasculated, and a morbidly obese woman is invisible. That has sort of been my observation. So as you're dealing with these people, these patients, what I would love for you to know is that I needed a little bit of extra kindness, a little bit of extra support. So I can't tell you how many times as a obese woman in my 20s that I would be at my doctor's appointment, and I knew she was gonna, I knew I was fat. Like, I didn't need a doctor to, let's talk about your health, you're fat. I know that I wash myself every day. I put my clothes on. I know that I am. So we knew, going to your regular checkup, you're gonna hear it. You're gonna hear that this is the problem. And you're like, yes, I'm very aware. I deal with this every single day of my life. I've been working on it for 20 years, right? But another memory that stands out to me is how many times as a 20-something-year-old, young, large woman, the medical assistant would bring me into the very open hallway with a scale to get on the scale, and I'm like, hello? Like, Dr. McDreamy is standing right here, and you're just gonna weigh me, are you kidding me right now? Can we not wait for them to pass? So I would just ask you to just be extra aware that this is something, and I know because of my years working for Weight Watchers, I've probably weighed 1,000 people, not even an exaggeration, thousands of people I've got on the scale. And I know that it's just numbers. You're just doing your job. You're not paying attention. To you, it doesn't matter. But to that person, it's humiliation. I wish that those scales would be in a private room. I would go in a storage closet to weigh, I don't care, but just please, can we not do it while everyone's walking by? So I would ask for just a little bit of extra safety for your obese patients, that, maybe make some small talk at the scale, ask them about their day, a little bit of extra kindness until people pass, and then ask them to step on the scale, right? That little tiny 30 extra seconds of your day can make a really huge impact for them. Lastly, what I would ask of you is that that you remember that no one is a lost cause. I spent 25 years dealing with morbid obesity, thinking that there was no hope for me. It was never going to get better. I was just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And today I can stand here and tell you I was not a lost cause. I found my way out through simple, healthy choices. But when you're looking at those patients, no, it does not matter if they are 200, 300, 400 pounds. They are not a lost cause. No one is a lost cause. And it could be that little extra help and support from you that makes the difference to them, to know that they are not a lost cause either, okay? That's it, guys. That's all I have for you. Thank you so much for listening. I do want to open it up for questions. If you guys have any questions for me. Yeah.
Did you talk about like diet and healthy choices? Did you do any kind of like exercise regimens that helped too, or was it strictly like food choices that you made?
Yes, I did. What I have found and what my experience and the latest research that I'm aware of proves that close to 90% of actual weight loss is nutrition based. That exercise alongside is, we know all of the benefits of activity. So, cardiovascular health, better sleep, better muscle tone, boost up your metabolism. There's so many benefits to exercise partnered with nutrition, but you really cannot out-exercise a poor diet. There's no amount. Have you ever been on a treadmill and you're working your butt off and you're like, I must have burned 1,000 calories, and you look down, it's 118, and you're like, that's an apple, are you kidding me? It's ridiculous. So there's, it's super, super important to build up our cardiovascular health, to have a good fitness regimen for sure. But when it comes to actually losing weight off of your body, I have found it to be at least 90% nutrition based. Yeah.
Any recommendations for women that are menopausal or postmenopausal, and it's really hard to?
Yes. Patience. So as I'm going to loop this around. I'm not making your question about me, I promise. I'm just going to loop the background. As I mentioned, I have hypothyroidism. I also have PCOS, which is polycystic ovary syndrome. Both of those things affect your metabolism and your ability to lose weight. They contribute to midsection weight gain, higher blood, like just the whole, cluster of everything you don't want when you're trying to lose weight. So my point is that those things did not keep me from losing weight, but they made it take a lot longer. There are people that have lost as much weight as I have in 10 months or 1 year. Mine was, between 2.5 and 3 years. It took more time. I think my average weight loss was 0.6 or 0.8 pounds a week, not even a whole pound a week. So slow and steady. I think that our biggest, I don't think that menopause or any hormonal imbalance can keep you from losing weight forever. Your body has to submit eventually. So just staying patient, staying the course. I think discouragement is our biggest enemy, because we want those fast results. But yeah, and carbs, those sneaky carbs, keeping them a little on the lower end definitely helped me. I do eat carbs, but yeah.
I've never had a weight issue ever, but after having 2 children, I feel and probably I'm sure age, but my metabolism, I can tell, has decreased a lot. So I just wanted to know ways of increasing the metabolism.
Yeah.
Other than exercise.
Yeah. Oh, other than exercise. That was gonna be my first answer. Sorry. Yeah. Yes, definitely exercise, but I would say, for me, dealing with some extra, I guess obstacles, let's call them. So let me rewind. Small children, my first recommendation is get good sleep. Because what happens is when we're not rested, we're I need energy. And when your brain knows it needs energy, it's carbs, sugar, caffeine, all the things that we crave are trying to give us back our energy. So I think that a foundation of getting good sleep is going to be your number one, because when we don't have energy to exercise, we don't have energy, I don't want to go grocery shopping and cook, I'm so tired. It's so much easier to just go pick up takeout. Well, we know what that looks like, right? So I would say, as a mom, making sure you get good sleep is going to be probably your number one. Is that resonating at all?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
So in our culture, we have this really disproportionate value we put on appearance. And so I just kind of noticed, what would you say we could do to like accentuate health over how you look? Because I know people, when I can feel down on myself for different behaviors and appearance and things like that, when it's really not what we need. Do you have like a way to shift over to saying, I want to be healthy more than I hate the way I look?
Yeah. So I think that there is no successful health journey without self-love. And I think that, you know, when I look back at times that I tried to lose weight and failed, my motivating factor was self-hatred. That I hated my body, I hated how I looked, I hated, you know, it was just hate, hate, hate. And what I say now is that I didn't start loving myself because I lost weight. I lost weight because I started loving myself. So having it start from a place of self-love and self-acceptance and knowing I'm worth taking care of. Like that's where this really comes from. You know, I have a 6-year-old son and he wants to eat, you know, ice cream and Slurpees and stuff all day long. I can't let him do that because I love him, because he's valuable to me, because I need him to be healthy and strong and fit, and I want him to live a long life. So I have him, I make healthy choices for him because he's valuable to me. Well, in the same way, I need to make healthy choices for me because I'm valuable to me, right? So I think that it just starts from that point. And it is a choice. It really is a choice. I do, so I'll get really personal right now. You cannot lose 140 pounds and not have any excess skin. So I traded one physical problem for another. I just get to wear smaller pants now, which I'm not complaining about. But like, so for example, I have a very healthy, my bat wing, this is my bat wing, I have a very healthy amount of excess skin that is, it's not my favorite thing in the whole world, but the choice that I make every day is that when I look in the mirror and I go like this is what I'm looking at. I'm like, look what I did. Look what I did. That didn't used to look like that. That's awesome. I make the choice that that's what I'm going to focus on, not this. So every day we get to make a choice. When I look in the mirror, what am I going to see? Am I going to look at the fact that I have this, some extra skin going on? Or I'm going to look at how much I have changed, or the fact that I think my eyes are pretty. Pick the thing that you can grab onto, that you are confident about. Hold on to that and see that, and it can be a physical thing, and it can be your laugh, your smile, the fact that I'm a compassionate human being who cares about other people. That's valuable. Finding value in those qualities within yourself, and starting from there. It's like a muscle. Self-love is a muscle. You have to work it out to make it grow stronger, right?
I'm kind of curious too about, so when you went to the doctor that time and you just said, okay, I've had it. So it sounded like you reached a different level of readiness. Could you talk about that a little bit? What got you
readiness?
Ready? Why was it different that time than it had been for before?
Yeah. Well, I think that, with any vice or addiction, which I don't think that you can be 300 pounds without having addictive behaviors around food, that you have to hit a rock bottom in order to get better. And I think that my body was just tapped out. I had at the time my son was 3, he weighed 30 pounds and I could not carry him up the stairs because my bone structure was at capacity. I could not physically carry my own son up the stairs. That was devastating. He was only 3 years old. He's 6 now. He weighs 56 pounds, and I can carry him and run. It's awesome. So yeah, I would say I definitely hit rock bottom. It was my own. I'm tapped out. I can't do this anymore. And then also, just on a personal level, I hit a point where I wanted change more than I wanted whatever thrill I was getting from excess food. Like that, it was no longer worth it. That the comfort, I'm a person who deals with anxiety. I know that I have learned that I was using food to medicate anxiety. So it just became not worth it anymore. The like drug-like result that I was getting from a binge or from overeating was no longer worth the pain that behavior was causing me. So that answer? Good? Yeah.
So, from like family support, did you feel like your family had to do the same thing you were doing, like eating, like you were eating? Right?
Yes. So I do have a husband, and as I said, a son. And for the most part, they did. I told my husband, if you want to go, if you need to get like a burger and fries and stuff that I'm not prepared to have, can you do that at lunch? Like when you're at work, do what you need to do, but I need home to be a safe place for me. And he was super supportive. I cooked all of our dinners and made really healthy meals. Sometimes I would make like a side. So say I made, I'm just gonna throw out an example. Say I made like salmon and broccoli and like some kind of rice to go with it. I would maybe have the salmon and broccoli and not the rice, and my boys would have the rice. So just kind of, we made it work. We did mostly, I was not about to cook like 3 separate, it wasn't gonna be like chicken nuggets for you, a cheeseburger for you. So I'm like, I'm not a restaurant. So they definitely supported and adapted. I know not everyone has that same kind of support, but I think that there are ways to create meal plans where everyone can share it and each person can sort of customize the things that are on that meal plan to work for them. Even something as simple as, having a different salad dressing or, really basic. Family support is important for sure. Yeah.
How did your pregnancy affect your weight and how you felt?
So So I was about, I want to say about 265 pounds when I got pregnant. I did have quite a lengthy battle with infertility. It took us 5 years to have my son. I've had 3 miscarriages since he was born, trying to add to our family. I'm 41 now, so I think we've closed that chapter and he's our one and only, but definitely weight and PCOS have definitely affected my body in regards to pregnancy. I didn't actually gain a large amount of weight during my pregnancy, I think because I was already quite large, so I stayed, I think I gained maybe 20-25 pounds. And that was actually all off. It was all him. It was off like 3 weeks after I had him, but I gained a substantial amount of weight in his first year of life because I was starving while nursing him, and also he was not a good sleeper. So back to the sleeping point, not having adequate sleep hugely affects your ability to be healthy and to lose weight. Because when I was completely sleep deprived and being woken up every hour or two, the next day it was like, 9 cups of coffee with sugar and cream and, whatever, M&Ms, whatever, whatever would give me that rush of energy to keep up with my little guy. So pregnancy itself, not so much. The year after, total nightmare. That's my nutshell answer to that. Yeah.
So everybody has a guilty food craving. What's your guilt? Because I know we can all be healthy all the time. There's one thing that you see and you're gonna want it. No matter what.
Yeah. Okay. So Reese's peanut butter eggs, not the cup, but the Easter one. Okay. So but listen, but not the round one with the thick hard shell, the sweetie, the flat.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
That's the one. That's the one. And also, if you ever bump into me in Target during holiday season, you probably can catch me talking out loud to those eggs. I'm not even joking. I'm like, not today! Not today! Get behind me, Satan. It is, yeah. Yeah. But I do once in a while, I think that, you know, I wouldn't have been able to accomplish what I accomplished without letting myself have a treat every now and then. So, yeah, I just got back from 5 days in LA with friends, which was amazing. I got to be in the audience of the Ellen show, which was like, we won a trip to Vegas. It was on yesterday, actually. I was in the audience in yesterday's show. If you DVR'd it, look for me, green shirt, front row. Anyway, so yeah, we got a 3-day trip to Vegas, which was awesome. Why did I bring up Ellen? What were we talking about?
You went to LA?
LA, thank you. I knew I needed you. Yeah, so we went to LA and I ate whatever I wanted. Like I just was like, I'm on vacation, I'm having fun. And then I got back and got on the scale and was like, woo, vacation's over, and just back at it. You just get back at it.
Yeah.
So yeah, deliver real life, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what we do when we have potlucks here.
I know, I was secretly judging. No, I'm just kidding. Not at all. Yeah.
What is like a basic day for you? What do you eat like for breakfast, lunch, and dinner?
Yeah, okay. So I,
Oh, tell me all.
here we go.
Give me a meal plan.
Meal plan, sure. I actually have business cards that I can hand all of you. And I'm gonna pause that real quick. I did, through the course of my journey, built a kind of exciting social media following. So I brought my business cards for you guys if you want to check me out on Instagram, and you can see like my before and after pictures, and I do share there like meal plans, recipes, meal ideas, and things like that. So I brought business, don't let me leave without giving you those. But so I do focus on, primary focus on protein and healthy fats. I do eat carbohydrates, absolutely, but for me and my body, that's an area that I have to be careful. So I do lots of like eggs for breakfast. I'll do like an egg and veggie scramble with salsa, something like that. Trader Joe's light shredded mozzarella cheese is like my best friend in the whole world. I make little pizzas out of it sometimes for lunch. I'll do like a flatbread pizza. Turkey wraps, I get like lots of low carb wraps, and big salad with grilled chicken and lots of veggies. Dinner is usually a lean protein and a green vegetable, and then maybe something else on the side, but not always. Yeah.
And desserts.
I do, but not probably not every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a big slab of tuxedo cake on Mother's Day. It was phenomenal. So I mean, I do definitely,
Yeah.
but not on a, maybe once or twice a week I would fit in a treat. Another little trick that I taught myself throughout my weight loss journey was that I would tell myself, you can have that on Saturday. And so it was like whatever I was craving that day, I'd be like, oh man, I don't want this big stupid salad, I want nachos. And then I would be like, well, if you want nachos, you can have nachos on Saturday. And then on Wednesday, I'd be like, I just want pizza. Okay, well, if you want pizza, you can have it on Saturday. And then Thursday would come along, I want a hot fudge sundae. Well, you can have it on Saturday. And then when Saturday came, I didn't want pizza and nachos and a hot fudge sundae. It was just maybe that day I wanted cheesecake. So it was like whatever that thing was. Saturday was like I did my weigh-in on Saturday morning, and then Saturday I was allowed to pick a treat and fit it in, probably a Reese's egg, like every other week, and fit it in. And then, but it was a way of kind of, instead of telling myself no, because I'm pretty feisty, like my personality, I don't know if you can tell, I'm trying to like keep it toned down up here, but I'm pretty feisty, and if you tell me no, my answer is what? So I didn't want to tell myself no, I just told myself not yet. It wasn't a no, it was not yet, and that seemed to work really well for me.
I like it.
Yeah.
No one likes to hear no. It's a terrible answer.
How about support from friends and family? What like it seemed like to me, Weight Watchers, one of the powerful parts of it is we have a little community form around you.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't think I would be where I am without the community that I gained from Weight Watchers. That's how I ended up with a social media following, was through the Weight Watchers community. So I definitely think whether it's Weight Watchers or something else, I think that you do need a core group of people around you to encourage you. I still have the people that I lost my weight with. I have a network of friends across the country. We have a chat group together on WhatsApp, and we talk every day. We talked this morning. I told them, this morning that I was gonna come here and talk to you, and they were super supportive, and it was awesome. So, yeah, they were like, "You've got it, you're awesome," and they're like my cheering squad. So I think we all need that, regardless of if we're losing weight or not. We need to have a team. So I definitely think, building community, and I agree. I think Weight Watchers is far ahead of other programs in terms of their understanding that in order to be successful, you need community and you need support, and that you can't do it alone. So one of the Weight Watchers hashtags is better together. That's like one of their little slogans, and that has, stayed with me. Yeah.
I was just gonna say, so Weight Watchers probably is like one of the better like programs that work. Like I've tried the Beachbody or the 21 Day Fix, which worked, but it's like you have to keep at it, or
right, because
kind of
unfortunately this whole thing about health doesn't get fixed in 21 days.
Yeah.
It's so deceptive,
Yeah.
right? 21 Day Fix. I wish.
Yeah.
I wish. Yeah. I think that the benefit of Weight Watchers and why I would recommend it to anyone looking for a program is that they really have grabbed on. I don't work for them currently. I did for a while, but I don't anymore. But I think that they understand that this has to be a lifelong commitment. It has to be sustainable. If it's not sustainable, like anyone can measure your little chicken and broccoli for 21 days and be like, I lost 10 pounds, but you can't live that for your whole life. Nobody wants that for their whole life. And so what skills have you learned to carry you through? When you stop doing the thing, you're gonna gain it all back, which was the story of my life. So to me, whatever program you choose, the program that you choose to lose the weight, that's the program that you're gonna have to keep it off. So if you can't do it forever, the weight will not stay off. It has to be sustainable. Yeah.
This is sort of an add-on to Ron's question. How did you deal with, or how, I'm real sensitive to people that have lost weight or gained weight. I try not to actually broach the subject at all. One, because they might have lost it in an unhealthy manner, but two, I also don't want them to think that I look at them and look at their weight.
Yeah.
So as you started to lose it and people wanted to, I would be afraid as your friend to go, man, I know this sounds silly, but I wouldn't want to say almost like, man, you look awesome. Yeah. And that sounds really silly to say that, because I want to encourage you, but I don't also want to put emphasis on something that your health is important, and how you feel about yourself is important,
right.
But what you look like to me is not important.
Right.
Like you don't mean more than what you were before.
Yes.
Yeah.
Have you had friends struggle with that, or have you
Yes.
struggled with other people?
Yeah, so I've experienced like both ends of the spectrum. So I have one friend who I swear like my weight loss is not visible to her, and I both appreciate and am annoyed by that. And so she told me one time, I ran into my friend's dad, who was like in his 80s, and he did not know who I was. And I was like, Benny, it's me, it's Lisa. And he was like, Lisa. He like touched my face. It was amazing. It was so great. And then when I told her, I was like, yeah, Benny didn't even recognize me. And she's like, really? You don't look that different. Oh. And I was like, what? Excuse me? I definitely do look different. So, it can go both ways. I also had another friend ask me what I was doing for work, and at the time I was working for Weight Watchers, and I said, I'm working for Weight Watchers, and she goes, oh, are you on your own weight loss journey? And I was like, I lost 67 pounds, thank you very much. So, it's like, it's both. Like, and I think that when you're in the context of a friendship, hopefully they know that you love them no matter what. They know that you're not their friend now because they're smaller, but I think it's okay to acknowledge hard work, because it takes hard work. And I don't think anybody minds hearing, gosh, look, you're just glowing. You look great today.
Yeah.
And it doesn't necessarily have to be about, it always made me feel awkward if someone's like, you're getting skinny. I'm like, okay, first of all, no, I'm not skinny, but also that's a weird word. Like that, there are ways that it is said that is harder to accept. But someone saying like, you're just really glowing, or you just look so healthy, or you look really happy, like you look great. There's taking that approach to their overall person and their overall health. No one's gonna be ever upset about that.
Thank you for saying it like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think also like, cause I understand what you're saying about that there can be a negative connotation to it, but I think that's also true of if we take like grief, for example, if we know that someone has lost someone close to them and we don't want to bring it up because we think it's going to hurt them if we bring it up, but they're thinking about it anyway. It's on their mind anyway. And you know, the little back rub and, you know, I'm so sorry for your loss. That means everything to them, you know? So I think, and not to compare it to losing a human, but I'm just saying, I think even if it is a touchy subject, it's okay. It's okay to say something. Yeah.
Wow. So you're saying we can tap into your journey on how?
On Instagram, what a good segue. I'm gonna stop my video. If you're watching this, if I put this on my YouTube, I'm done now. Thanks, guys.